Hello everybody to this new video. Please check in the description below of this video the disclaimer. You have to understand that Forex trading and there's always high risk involved. Please make sure to read the risk disclaimer. Last time in the last video we talked about what is the dollar doing next, and we looked here on the dollar index, as you maybe remember if you watched the last video. And I was on the daily time frame on the dollar index, and we talked about this very important zone here where we had many rejections here. You can see here, then there price came not really over. Here we had a jump over, but then it acted a little bit as support. It was going higher, and then again it struggled here, and then the last video I made was around here, where price was here, and I told you we have to wait until we go into trades with the dollar, until we know if the price comes over this red line and retested it and then goes higher, or if we get here the retest and then it goes lower, then we can sell the dollar. So if it jumped over and the line holds and it goes higher, then we go into buy trades with the dollar, and if it goes lower, then we can sell the dollar. And it happened that it did go lower. You can see exactly on this line it bounced here. It retested it many times here. It's every time a daily candle we see here, and then it began to go lower. And I told you in my video we have to look currency we can combine with the dollar, which is very strong. So if the dollar is weak, as you can see here on the dollar index, we need a strong currency to combine with it, and then we can sell this pair. And I did find a really nice pair, and it's this one here. It's the dollar combined with the Norwegian krone. So the dollar with a European currency here, a little bit exotic pair, but the Norwegian krone was very strong the last days, and you can see what a nice drop we got here on this pair. And if you have sold this pair, for example, as the dollar began to get weaker and weaker, we could here make a really nice sell trade here and make here a lot of pips. For example, you could draw here a trend line, and you saw it was broken here, it was retested here, and then it was going down, and you saw it on the dollar index, as I showed you the seconds before, that the dollar gets weaker and weaker. Then it's a really good sign to sell this pair here. And you can see this is a trading possibility without any indicators. It's only to look on the dollar index what it's doing on such important zones, as I showed you with the red line. And then you have only to be a little bit patient until you go into a trade. So it's very good to know where the dollar is at the moment, on which zones, and then you decide what to trade. Of course, you need a little bit patient. And you see, by the way, the order blocks from Metagrid, how nicely they worked on this pair. We have here a buy order zone here, 3 green lines in a row, and you can see exactly here the buy orders were consumed, and price after that was going higher, then exactly bounced on this big red order block, sell order block, and it bounced again here, and at the moment it bounced a third time on this strong red sell zone here from Metagrid. So you can see if you traded this with the order blocks today, this exotic pair, you had a good chance to make here a profit. A question I get very often is, what does this sad face here mean? If I open the Uncle Scanner or other software, why do I have the sad face? And this sad face means that you have deactivated auto trading on your MT4. And basically this means that no expert advisor will work on your MT4, and this means your scanner does not work or your Metagrid does not work, because if you have the sad face, the software will not work. And how can we change this? You can see here's the happy face on my chart, and you can see here this button which says auto trading. It's activated. If I click on it, then it's deactivated, and you can see I have the sad face now here. This means the software does not work anymore, and the expert advisor cannot work. If you click again, you can see I have the happy face. Now the software can work. MT4 has this button because you can, with this button, stop and start expert advisors, like for example the scanner. It makes more sense with an EA which trades automatically. If you, for example, want to stop such an EA which trades automatically, you click here, stop auto trading, and then this EA stops the trades, or better to say, stops working from this moment on. But that the scanner and all my other software works, you have to activate auto trading. So you have to click on this button that you get this happy face here. It's very easy to fix this. And one problem you can have, and this is, as I know, the default setting from MT4. If you change your account number, so you know you can have more accounts on your MT4, and if you change to another account, very often the default setting of MT4 is that it automatically then deactivates auto trading, because that if you change the account, that the EA is stopped from this moment on. This is a safety thing from MT4, but you can change this. So if you don't want that MT4 stops auto trading if you change the account, then you go here to Tools, and then you go to Options, and then here to the tab Expert Advisors, and you then have to disable some of these checkpoints here. This is how it should look if you don't want that auto trading gets stopped. First of all, you have to allow automated trading. This is very important to check this. And here you have to uncheck these three things. For example, disable automated trading when the account has been changed. This is what I told you. If you change the account and you have checked this here, then MT4 will automatically stop auto trading at the moment you go to another account, and then you have to push this button here. So disable this checkbox here, disable this checkbox and this checkbox, and then very important, you have to allow DLL imports and allow web requests. This three check boxes have to be checked, and this three not. And if you have done this, then MT4 will always have auto trading on, and you should always have the happy face on it. This is the setting I use, but you have to remember, if you then change your account number, auto trading is still activated, and if you have an EA on it which automatically trades, it will trade on another account too. So it's up to you how you want to do this. If you want a safety thing from MT4 that it automatically stops auto trading if you change the account, or if you think this is nerve-wracking, I want always have auto trading on and always have the happy face, then please make the settings like I showed you now. And here comes a new trade set up. You can maybe use if you want, or you demo it to check it. We are on the Kiwi Yen on the H4 time frame, and we look for a possible place where we could enter a trade. And as always, I have the Hypnotic software, supply and demand software added too. So we have the Metagrid order blocks here, and we have here, you can see this blue rectangle. This is from the Hypnotic supply and demand software. A blue box means in this case we have here a H4 supply zone, and on a supply zone we can expect that price maybe begins to struggle and give us some sell opportunities. I like this sell zone so far because we are above the market structure. You can see we have here resistance, 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 and it's very likely that the traders which are in or who are in these trades here place their stop losses above these last highs here, and you know that market makers want to catch these stop losses, so it's very likely that they try to come over this market structure here and go into the supply zone. And you can see on this place we have some sell order blocks too, a very strong one here. a strong one and a normal one close together, then a normal one, and again here a strong and a normal one close together. One opportunity, of course, would be that we make here in this complete area, from here where we have the beginning of these two strong zones until here, that we make here a grid trade, for example. We could do this, that we here with the auto trader from Metagrid, for example, place here the sell order. Let's show you this, that we place here the sell entry exactly on this red line, for example, that we have placed it correct. And then we make here a grid between all these zones, that when price deeps here into this area and begins then to struggle and goes down, that we can then catch with our grid some of the pips. Let's see if we are on grid trading. We have to change this. We go to grid trading, and then let's see, we don't use a positive grid. We have to place it to 0. And then we make a grid. Let's see what is a nice distance. So say maybe 5 pips for every grid. So we use a grid distance with 5, and you know we need 50 points or ticks. And let's check it. First we save it, and then we check it with the preview function, and you can see now we have here all these red lines as a grid, and on every red line we get a new sell trade. It's a little bit too high. It goes over our zone, but it's okay. I think this grid would work here, and you should maybe use for every, it depends of course of your account balance, but maybe with 2 mini lots or micro lots in this case. We go into our trade, and on every grid, for example, we could add a 0.01, for example. Don't forget to save it. And the trailer here is set to a very large number. It's too high, so we could use a trailer, for example, after we have 10 pips in profit, so it's 100, and it should trail, for example, 5 pips behind the price. This would be a possibility here to go into this trade on this supply area, and if price comes here around. And if we make the chart a little bit smaller, you can see we have again here a H4 supply zone here, and I like this too. It's on the same place as we have this strong order block here, and above we have a daily supply zone. This is the red box here. The red stands for a daily supply zone here. So interesting areas here. I like this very much. We have the supply zone from H4. We have the strong sell order block, and also we have here, if you look here on the chart, I go a little bit more left, we have an interesting resistance area. You can see here, first price bounced here, bounced here, bounced here. It was a clear support so far. You know, if price bounces and goes up again, it's a support zone. Then it broke here this support area and retested it here. You can see it goes a little bit up again, retests this area and goes down again. Now this yellow line acts as a resistance zone, and this resistance is very close here to this supply and this sell order block. So I would look if price reaches this area the next days, that we can here go into a sell trade too. So I would maybe here place before this zones here a sell entry. If you use the auto trader from Metagrid, you know it will check for confirmation of this trade before it goes into it. If you don't use the auto trader, you should maybe here place an alert, and if price comes to this region, you have to see and watch for price action to go into the sell trade. The same of course for our grid trading here. It's always the same process we do. So these are the two places I want to trade here on this pair. If we look here for possible sell trades. I wish you happy trading. Until next time.